Good evening, everyone. Well, this past week has been hard. It's been a real hard pill to swallow, to be honest. As you all know, I fell last Sunday and I've spent this week bedridden. What you don't know is that I have got out of the house a couple of times, but it's been in a wheelchair. I got my wheelchair in June and I've hated it. When we were on holiday in July, I made sure that none of the holiday snaps had my wheelchair in it. If they did, they weren't allowed to be posted or sent to the family or anything. My wheelchair just wasn't to be mentioned, wasn't to be spoken about. Last Sunday, sitting in the hospital, sitting in my wheelchair, couldn't move, couldn't even go to the toilet. Hubby wasn't allowed to stay in the hospital. He had to go wait in the car. So every time I needed the toilet, I had to send him a message to come out the car, over and into the hospital, take me to the toilet. To say I was embarrassed is an understatement. It was hellish. I hated it. On Wednesday we went to Asda. I sat in my wheelchair thinking, I hope no one sees me. I hope no one recognises me under this mask. I hope I don't bump into anyone I see. I'm so embarrassed to be in this wheelchair. I just want to hide. I didn't do my dancing and moving video like I'd promised I would do. I would be in my wheelchair, and who wants to see that? Who wants to see me sitting in my wheelchair for 30 minutes, barely able to move? On Friday we went to Asda and we bumped into friends that we've known for years. And they didn't bat an eyelid. They didn't blink. The fact that I was sat in my wheelchair, it wasn't an issue for them. They didn't bother. And it honestly wasn't as bad as what I thought it might be. I was less embarrassed than what I thought I would be. But that didn't help. Still wasn't confident enough to even think about doing my 30 minutes dancing and moving video on my YouTube. No one wants a fitness instructor who's in a wheelchair. I've been told before, there's no space in the fitness industry for people in a wheelchair. I got told to come back when I was better. I got told I was a perfect fit for a company. until I mentioned that sometimes I might need a wheelchair. They told me that once the doctors got to the bottom of my illness and I got properly medicated and no longer needed a wheelchair, to go back to them and they would give me a job. That tore me apart. That made me feel so small. I said at that point that I wanted to change the industry. I wanted to change the fact that in 2021 there's still no place for people with disabilities. But how could I? How could I change it? I can't go on camera whilst in my wheelchair. Everyone will laugh at me. Everyone will say that I'm a phony, that I'm fake. Because some days I can walk and other days I can't. Some days I can dance about and walk 10 miles. Other days I'm in a wheelchair, not able to walk the length of myself. It's so difficult. It's so difficult to accept. But today, something happened. Today I asked for help. I got pointed in the right direction for where to go to get an electric wheelchair, so that I can go and do the school run when I'm ill, when my illness is bad, when it's flared up, when I can't walk. I can still do the school run. I got told that someone would come and assess the house, see what adaptations or aids that I needed, so that when I was ill, I could still live. I could still do things that other people do, rather than be bedridden and needing lifted in and out of bath. I spoke to the Blue Badge team about getting an application form, because it wouldn't let me apply online. So that if I do need to be in a wheelchair, we can park the car in the disabled space, rather than my husband trying to get me in and out the car and in and out the wheelchair in a tiny wee space. The way some of the car park spaces are, there's barely enough room to get in and out normally. But when you need to try and manoeuvre a wheelchair in and around, it's pretty near impossible. I'm learning to accept that I do need help with things, and that my body is going to remain to be temperamental, and that I will on occasion need the use of a wheelchair. I'm learning that in order for the industry to change, I need to be the change that I want to see. No more hiding behind the camera, hiding behind the screen. Not doing my videos just because I'm ill. People need to see the truth. People need to see that everyone has their own struggles, their own limitations, but also their own power. And that it doesn't matter what your limitations are, there's things that you can always achieve. I have a voice, and it's time I used it. I may still get turned away in the fitness industry because I'm ill, but I didn't get into fitness to be told no. I didn't get into fitness to hide away. I got into fitness in order to help as many people as what I could to achieve whatever fitness goals or health goals that they may have. I can't help them if I'm embarrassed by my wheelchair, or if I'm not willing to and embarrassed to go on and do my 30-minute videos that I've promised them I would do every day. I promise I'll be on and do a 30 minutes moving and dancing video. I've not done it in over a week because I'm embarrassed. That's not going to help anyone. If I want to help people, they need to be able to rely on me at all times. Not only when I can walk, but also when I can't walk, and when I'm sat in a wheelchair. They need to know that I'm still here for them, and that I'm not going to disappear every time my illness plays up and I have to go into the wheelchair. It's took a hang of a lot for me to come on here tonight and say this. And I really don't know how people are going to take it. I can only hope that they're accepting of it. Because all I want to do is help people. And to do that, I need to learn to accept myself for who I am. As I said, it's been difficult this past week. And I'm here. I have been here, just behind the camera, not in front of it where I should have been. But I promise you, I won't be embarrassed to stick up for myself anymore, to stick up for other people anymore. I will be back with my videos, whether it's sitting in my wheelchair or whether it's sit on a bench or a seat because I've not managed to get the wheelchair in the house. Whatever it may be. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.